The P.B. Poorman Pride Center, established in 2008, is a space at UW-Whitewater that provides a safe and welcoming atmosphere to LGBTQ+ students and allies, and named in memory of the late psychology professor P.B. Poorman. In this space, students are able to come and study, relax, and socialize with others. Through programs and events, the Pride Center also works to educate the public while also employing students to aid in the development of LGBTQ+ life on campus.
So since 2016, I've had the privilege to serve as the second LGBT coordinator on campus, where I direct the P.B. Poorman Pride Center and teach LGBTQ studies. But formalized LGBTQ student support actually began on campus decades earlier in 1988, when young students saw a need to organize support for gay students during the height of the HIV/AIDS epidemic. This is when the LGBTQ student organization formed for the very first time, then called the Gay Student Union and now called Impact. At the same time, faculty in the Women's Studies department began hosting a lesbian support group on Sunday nights for young women who, quote unquote, wanted a safe place to meet each other. Over 30 years later, here I am, the second LGBT coordinator, and my position was designed to connect a student's social curriculum to their academic life. But this connection really begins here, when both students and faculty started quietly and yet quite publicly claiming space on campus in the 1980s.
The Pride Center currently offers a wide variety of educational and student involvement opportunities to queer and ally students. These opportunities range from involvement with Impact, peer educators, and Pride Center interns.
Hi, I'm Sam Finley. I use any pronouns. I'm a sixth-year student here at Whitewater. The LGBTQ peer educator program is it's like a job opportunity through the Pride Center, and it really centers taking students' personal experiences with identity and framing them in ways that kind of give us advocacy tips or tools. And a lot of what I do is like take my own personal experiences. Like I'll think back to like elementary school or something in my identity, and I'll go into an education classroom and like talk about my experiences in schools as a queer person or as a disabled person, XYZ. I'll sit down and I'll have a panel request, and I'll really be looking at the questions they're asking, and I'll be thinking about which of my experiences are applicable here and how can I answer their question with something that I have experienced, while also trying to pull out advocacy gems in there and find a takeaway that I can end my story with.
My name is Avery. I use they, them pronouns. As an intern, we're expected to first and foremost monitor what's going on in the physical Pride Center space. We're there to make sure that conversations stay safe and just respectful to everyone who's there. We create and distribute resources for those on campus. I specifically work on the Pride magazine, which features just LGBTQ accomplishments and events and just happenings on campus that we want to highlight.
The Pride Center also holds special events at UW-Whitewater to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community and recognize queer voices. One of these events is the National Coming Out Day celebration, in which both the Pride Center and Impact come together to celebrate the day. In past celebrations, special guests such as Jacob Tobiah have come to give keynote speeches and help motivate queer students. The Pride Center also holds an annual event, the Rainbow Celebration of Excellence, to recognize the accomplishments of LGBTQ+ students, faculty, and staff members. Graduating students are also presented with a rainbow cord ceremony.
The physical space of the center is designed as a one-stop shop for learning about LGBTQ campus-wide resources. This could range from how to use your preferred name and pronouns on campus, to how to access gender-inclusive residence life options, or how to access information on trans healthcare. LGBTQ students at UW-Whitewater have been active advocates on campus and in their communities literally for decades. The P.B. Poorman Pride Center now gets to serve as the hub to situate student advocacy. The students who call the Pride Center their home are super eager activists and allies. They are generous and resourceful and funny and fiercely analytical, and by and large, they know that they deserve more than they've been given.
I think this role has probably been one of the most beneficial things for me on this campus. It's really offered me an opportunity to expand on a lot of things that I've cared about and been passionate about. I kind of came into college being like, I love queer community, I love doing LGBTQ advocacy, but I didn't actually know what any of that meant. I just meant that I knew that I was like gay and trans and really excited about it. I came into college thinking I was going to be a teacher, and I think in some ways it's still true, but the program has really shown me that like the thing that makes me excited about life is advocacy, so.
Just as a whole, I feel like it's given me a space to really just be myself. It's definitely made my time at Whitewater so much better than it could have been. Being at the Pride Center has opened so much. Like, I've met so many people, I've made so many relationships that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't been at the Pride Center. It's really like one big family.